If you want to actually get work done, software timers are terrible. They just hide behind all your browser tabs and you end up kind of ignoring them. You actually need a physical object to anchor your attention. And the team at Flipper Devices, who are famous for their cute little hacking multi-tool, decided to try to solve this exact problem. And they ended up creating the Busy Bar. It is without a doubt the most over-engineered Pomodoro timer in existence. So, is this $250 desk timer actually going to make you more efficient? Or is it just a very shiny little distraction? Let's get started. Over the years, I tried almost every productivity technique under the sun. I've gone through endless variations of sticky notes, complex planner systems, and apps that are supposed to keep me on track. And I found out one simple truth. The Pomodoro technique actually works, but only if there's a physical device I have to interact with. So I started searching for the perfect physical timer. I tried the cheap ones on Amazon, and they kind of work, but they're ugly. I tried a fancy wooden bass Pomodoro timer with a mechanical chime, and it looks gorgeous. I love how it looks. I love how it sounds, but it is way too bulky and complicated for daily use. I needed something that looked good, stayed out of the way, and forced me to pay attention. Which brings me back to Flipper. They're actually transitioning from like a hacking multi-tool company into a broader hardware multi-tool company. The Flipper Zero has been designed for radios, the upcoming Flipper One is for networking, and now they just released this. This is the Busy Bar. And the Busy Bar is their first attempt at a multi-tool for hacking your own focus. But what does a hacker's Pomodoro timer actually look like? Because honestly, the way I have this set up completely changed how I work. So first, let's talk about what this thing actually is. Because Flipper clearly had some fun designing it. Flipper says that they built this because their own engineers were having a hard time staying focused while building other devices. And they needed something to physically anchor their attention, so they built it. And now they are selling it. Visually, it gives a massive retro-futuristic vibe. It looks like a prop you would find on the set of Loki, like in the TVA, and it uses this older-looking off-white plastic, but the fit and the design and the finish feel incredibly sophisticated and sturdy. On the front, you have a 72x16 RGB LED pixel matrix. This faces the room and shows anybody who walks by your status. On the back, you have a secondary 116x80 screen. It's a monochrome OLED display. This mirrors your countdown, but also adds a lot of nerdy things like your settings, your battery level, your network connection, and all the other menus you need to use the device. But the actual controls is where it gets really interesting. The main start and pause button is not just some mushy piece of rubber. It's a real mechanical keyboard switch. They use the Kali Chalk V2 low profile switch, so you get a very satisfying, definitive click every time you start or stop a session. You also have a scroll wheel to navigate the menus or control the timers, which is very, very satisfying to use, and a cute little back button. It also comes with those cute little feet that are designed to be on top of your monitor, so it can easily sit there, so others will be able to see what you are doing. Thing is that my specific screen is a little bit too thick for the feet to grip, but it easily just lies on top of my screen and doesn't move at all, and that's how I've been using it for the last few weeks. So, it looks cool, but what happens when you actually press the button? Well, if you aren't familiar with Pomodoro, the core concept is very simple. You do 25 minutes of highly focused productivity, followed by 5 minutes of rest, and you repeat the cycle. The catch is that if you lose your productivity or your concentration or get distracted by your phone, you have to reset the timer and start over. You're basically training your brain to hold focus for 25 minutes at a time. I have my sticky notes with my tasks for the day. I press the button and the timer starts. If I feel my attention is slipping, I physically see the bright red LED timer counting down, and it pulls me back on track. But this is where Flipper's software ecosystem comes in. The Busy Bar pairs with a free companion app for your desktop and your phone, and when you start a session, it actually syncs immediately over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to your phone. The app automatically blocks any distracting applications and mutes your notifications. The animations and visualizations in the app are just beautiful. I love them. I really love how they implemented the UI in general. It doesn't feel like a punishing lockdown app. It feels like a seamless extension of the hardware, like maybe a meditation app in a way. And it has this great feature called Auto On Call. It detects when your microphone or camera is active on your computer, let's say for example during a Zoom call, and it automatically flips the busy bar to mark busy, so your family or coworkers know not to walk in. You can even connect it directly to your Google Calendar, and then it will show upcoming meetings and show when you are in a meeting. It's pretty cool. It's really innovative. But a simple timer and an app blocker doesn't justify a device with its own internal system on a chip. To understand why I actually love this thing, we need to flip the physical mode switch to the custom mode. The Busy Bar is fully Metal certified. It works out of the box with Google Home, Alexa, SmartThings, and what I actually care about, Home Assistant. I have mine set up so that when it's in the regular mode, it just shows the Pomodoro timer. But when I switch the toggle to custom, the front screen instantly changes to say on air in bright red pixels. I actually built a few years ago, I designed and 3D printed my own custom on air sign. Ta-da! Just to stop people from walking in and bothering me while I was on calls or recording videos. It was a fun project, but the Busy Bar takes this idea and pushes it 10 levels up, and does it straight out of the box with no custom DIY. So when I start a session in custom mode, it triggers a Metal automation that completely changes the lighting in my room to match my YouTube channel setup and recording. It flips everything to my studio lighting configuration, and the moment I stop the timer, it resets the room back to normal office lighting. It's incredibly fluid, and you don't have to open the app on your phone to change your scenes, and it actually indicates to everybody else that you are recording. You just click the tactile mechanical switch on your desk, and everybody sees you're on air and do not bother you either. But even a smart home control is just scratching the surface. Here's the thing that takes the Busy Bar from a clever gadget to an absolute must-have for builders and tech enthusiasts. Because this is made by Flipper devices, the system is completely open. This isn't some locked-down proprietary cloud device. You can use it completely offline out of the box. But if you connect it to your computer via USB, it actually acts as a local network device. You can open a web browser, go to its local IP address, and pull up a local web interface to control it directly. It runs its own web server on the hardware itself, and it has an open HTTP API, which means anything you can do with the buttons or with the app, you can do with a script as well. And the protocol is really well documented, including custom libraries to build your own software. You can push text, custom pixel art, animations, countdowns, trigger the button presses, and all of that directly to the front LED matrix or the real OLED screen down to the exact pixel. Flipper even provides official Python and TypeScript wrappers, so you can easily build software with it. Using the documentation and the API, it took me maybe 15 minutes to build a fully functional advanced to-do tracking app for my desktop, showing my own custom tasks. So I just define my daily task on my own desktop, and my script sends a request to the Busy Bar to display exactly which task I am supposed to be working on right now, while it runs a custom timer and reacts to the button presses on the Busy Bar itself. The thing is that this device comes out today, and the community is already doing wild things with it. Because it has a built-in speaker and audio playback, people have turned it into a tiny little internet radio device, which is super cool. I've seen people build a hydration timer that reminds you to drink, and then you press the physical button to log that you drank a glass of water. People are using it as social battery meter, so when you've over-socialized, you can show your coworkers how open you are to chatting. If you just had a packed week of meetings and just need to be left alone to code, you slide a bar on the desktop and the screen updates to tell people to stay away. Someone even built a habit tracker that displays wherever they hit their inbox 0 or workout goals for the day. Flipper is also releasing a JavaScript runtime in the next couple of months, so you can develop and run apps on the device itself without needing a computer to drive it. Honestly, all of that sounds incredible, but there are a few heavy trade-offs you really need to know about before you buy one. First, let's talk about the battery. The device is powered by a lithium-ion 18650 battery. On standby, it lasts about a week. But that's with all the displays off. But if you are actively running a session with the LED screen on automatic brightness, you only get about 7.5 hours of battery life. And of course that depends on the networking, Wi-Fi and so on. So in practice, that means it barely lasts a full 8-hour workday if you have it running constantly on battery. You still have to charge it every single day, and because of that, you can't just stick it on a wall outside your office and keep it completely wireless and expect it to act as a permanent do not disturb sign. It really needs to live on your desk plugged into your computer via USB-C, or at least have a USB charger in the other room as well. The battery is honestly just there so if you can move it to a couch or a meeting room for a short session, but you still need to remember to charge it constantly. The second thing is the price. Productivity gadgets are never cheap, but this is a serious investment. This device, for the first 3,000 units that are sold today, on the launch day, are going for around $199. After that, the general retail price jumps to $249. Those who join the waitlist before the launch, they get it for $179. $250 is a huge amount of money for a Pomodoro timer. No matter how advanced or how many pixels it has or how cool the APIs are. If you just want a timer, a standard Pomodoro timer on Amazon, it goes between $15 to $50, depends on how fancy it is. And you can buy a simple, basic digital clock for your kitchen for $10. But if you look at it as just a timer, you're kind of missing the point. It's not just a timer. It's a fully programmable smart home dashboard and a local network pixel display, which happens to be able to count time as well. When you look at it like that, the price starts to actually make more sense. So bottom line, is it worth it? If you are someone who works from home, struggles with endless digital distractions and loves tinkering with your setup, my take is that it's a definite yes. Software timers constantly fail me because they disappear behind my web browser and other windows, and when I lose focus, I need a physical device to remind me that I need to get back to work. At the end of the day, I get substantially more done with a busy bar sitting on my monitor than I ever did with any browser extension or the basic kitchen timers I've been using so far. It replaces my sticky notes, it automates my studio lighting, and it keeps my phone locked down when I need to actually finish some work. If you want to see more real-world experiments on how to optimize your workspace and your daily tech, make sure to hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments what weird app you would want to build for that. And until next time I feel like making a video, see ya!